Partcoin and things
Yeah,
like that.
I think I find prediction markets a great example of like a technology that is super powerful. You can show it has tremendously positive applications, and one that like got held back by bad regulation. So kind of like prediction markets have been were invented in what, like the 80s, 70s, maybe earlier. I think it was 70s or 80s, and they were deployed in very like there were a lot of deployments over the decades, but they were like deployed in very limited settings because they weren't really allowed to become like a public mainstream thing,
Right.
because they sort of like got classified as needing like all of this deep regulatory oversight. And I think this was like CFTC maybe, but they were just sort of like hampered. And so all of these kind of like really neat applications of prediction markets were like, hey, you could use prediction markets to decide like scientific funding. You could use prediction markets to like figure out like hiring and recruiting at scale. Like you could use prediction markets to like do venture capital. You could use prediction markets to like do like policy setting. Like you can use prediction markets combined with governance structures to produce a thing called futarchy, or other kind of like governance mechanisms. Like all of those like really neat constructions and ideas effectively had to wait until the crypto world kind of like busted through regulation
I guess,
to
yeah.
then kind of like come along with us, right? So a lot of those ideas and applications were proposed, and again, there were like limited examples of these deployed, but they never like really changed the world yet because they're not like easily accessible. And crypto created a paradigm where they suddenly became like worldwide accessible really easily. And I think it's like super fascinating. I've been very excited to talk to many groups in the last year or two, working on using prediction markets for finally like governing groups, like and deciding on like policies for like DAOs and policies for blockchain protocols and whatnot. And like it's a perfect application for it, and I think it's going to be like really, really exciting.